Sign here, and the divorce will be final." Claire's attorney slid the papers across the mahogany table with practiced efficiency. My wife sat beside him, perfectly composed in her black Chanel suit. The same suit I'd bought her for our 10th anniversary. She didn't even look at me. Just examined her manicured nails like I was already gone. I held the pen above the dotted line, my hand trembling slightly. 15 years of marriage reduced to signatures and legal stamps. Claire had taken everything. The house in Denver. My consulting business. Full custody of our 2 kids, Tommy and Bella. Even my car. "Mr. Reynolds," the attorney prompted. I signed. The pen scratched across paper, sealing my fate. Claire finally looked at me then, and she smiled. Not warmly. Triumphantly. "You always were too trusting, Garrett," she said, gathering her things. "That's why this was so easy." They left me sitting alone in that conference room. Through the window, I watched Claire climb into my Mercedes. Our Mercedes. Her Mercedes now. Everything was hers now. I had nothing left except a suitcase of clothes and a bank account with $847. After contributing $2.3 million to our joint accounts over 15 years, that's what remained. But Claire had made one mistake. One tiny, crucial mistake. And I was about to make her pay for it. 3 months earlier, I'd been living the dream. My consulting firm, Reynolds Analytics, had just closed a $4.8 million contract with a tech startup. Claire had organized a celebration dinner at Maestro's, inviting all our friends. "To my brilliant husband," she toasted, her hand warm on my shoulder. "Everything we have, we owe to you." Everyone clinked glasses. I'd felt proud, accomplished, loved. That night, I'd transferred $800,000 into our joint account for the new house renovations Claire wanted. She'd kissed me deeply, whispered how much she loved me. 2 weeks later, I came home early from a business trip to Seattle. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I found Claire's laptop open on the kitchen counter, screen glowing. Email notification visible. Transfer confirmed. $800,000 to account ending in 7392. I didn't recognize that account number. My stomach tightened. I clicked through her recent emails, hands shaking. What I found made my blood run cold. Correspondence with someone named Victor. Not just financial discussions. Love letters. Plans. They'd been seeing each other for 8 months. And they'd been systematically draining our accounts. I sat down heavily, the kitchen spinning around me. Every deposit I'd made, every bonus, every contract payment. Claire had been moving it all to secret accounts. Accounts in her name only. I didn't confront her immediately. That was the old Garrett, the trusting one. Instead, I opened my laptop and started documenting everything. Screenshots of emails. Bank transfer records. Text messages I found backed up on our shared cloud. Claire had been meticulous about hiding the money, but careless about covering her digital tracks. She thought I was too busy working to notice. She thought I was too in love to suspect. She was wrong about the second part now. Over the next week, I discovered the full scope of her betrayal. She'd opened accounts in 3 different states. Transferred funds through shell companies. Even forged my signature on business documents to access company accounts. My business partner, Alex, nearly had a heart attack when I showed him. "Garrett, this is fraud," he'd said, face pale. "Corporate fraud. We need to call the police immediately." "Not yet," I'd replied. "I need to protect myself first. She has custody leverage with the kids. If I move too fast, she'll use them against me." Alex understood. We'd been friends since college. He knew how much I loved Tommy and Bella. So we built our case quietly. Documented every transaction, every forged signature, every lie. Meanwhile, I acted normal at home. Kissed Claire goodnight. Asked about her day. Pretended I didn't know she was destroying our family for money and another man. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I'd taken Tommy and Bella to school. Came home to find Claire on the phone in our bedroom. The door was cracked open. I heard Victor's voice through the speaker. When are you leaving him? Victor asked. Claire laughed. That musical laugh I used to love. Soon. My attorney says we file next month. Garrett won't fight it. He never fights for anything. He'll sign whatever I put in front of him. And the business? I'm listed as co-owner on paper. The forged documents make it legitimate enough. By the time his lawyers figure it out, the money will be untouchable. We'll have everything, baby. The house, the accounts, his entire business. He built it all for us. My hands clenched into fists. She wasn't just stealing money. She was stealing my entire life's work. Everything I'd built from nothing. I backed away silently, went to my car, drove aimlessly for an hour. When I finally stopped, I was parked outside a law office downtown. The sign read, Victoria Chen and Associates, Family Law Specialists. I walked in without an appointment. The receptionist tried to turn me away, but I must have looked desperate because she hesitated. Please, I said. I need help. My wife is stealing everything, and I don't know how to stop her. 5 minutes later, I was sitting across from Victoria Chen herself. Victoria was sharp, precise, and expensive. She listened to my story without interrupting, took notes in neat handwriting. When I finished, she looked up with steel in her eyes. Mr. Reynolds, what your wife is doing isn't just divorce planning. It's criminal fraud. But if we play this right, we can use it. How? I asked. She thinks you're passive. Use that. Let her file for divorce. Let her think she's winning. Meanwhile, we build an airtight case. When we're ready, we don't just stop her. We destroy her legal position completely. Victoria outlined a strategy. I would cooperate with the divorce initially. Sign preliminary papers. Act defeated. Let Claire take everything in the settlement. That sounds like losing, I said. Victoria smiled coldly. That's what she'll think too. But hidden in those documents will be clauses she won't notice. Agreements that make her financially responsible for all debts acquired through fraud. When we prove the fraud, which we will, she doesn't just lose the stolen money. She loses everything and faces criminal charges. Can we really prove it? You have documentation. We'll get more. I have investigators who specialize in financial fraud. Give me 3 weeks, Mr. Reynolds. Trust me. I thought about Claire's smile when she'd toasted me at that dinner. The lies hidden behind it. Do it, I said. Whatever it takes. For the next 3 weeks, I played my role perfectly. Claire announced she wanted a divorce. I acted shocked, hurt, confused. Exactly what she expected. I just need space, Garrett, she'd said, her voice dripping false sympathy. We've grown apart. You're always working. I need someone who sees me. I'd nodded, defeated, moved into a cheap apartment downtown. Let her keep the house, the cars, everything. Claire's attorney drafted papers giving her full custody, the business assets, all property. I signed them with shaking hands, just as Victoria had coached me. Claire watched with barely concealed satisfaction. You're being very mature about this, she'd said. The kids will appreciate that. The kids. Tommy was 12. Bella was 9. They didn't understand why Daddy wasn't living at home anymore. Claire told them I'd chosen work over family. Another lie to add to the collection. I saw them on supervised weekends, and it killed me every time. But Victoria kept reassuring me. 3 more weeks. Garrett. Then we move. Then you get everything back. Meanwhile, her investigators were working. They'd traced Claire's hidden accounts. Found evidence of her relationship with Victor, who turned out to be a real estate developer with a criminal record. Discovered she'd been planning this for over a year. Every piece of evidence was documented, notarized, prepared for court. The preliminary divorce was finalized on a Friday. Claire got everything she wanted. I watched her sign the papers with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She thought she'd won. That night, I sat in my tiny apartment and called Victoria. It's done. She signed everything. Perfect, Victoria replied. Monday morning, We file the fraud charges. Federal court, not family court. She'll be arrested Tuesday. Be ready, Garrett. This is going to be intense. I spent the weekend with Tommy and Bella. Claire had allowed me 2 hours at a park. The kids were distant, confused. Bella cried when I had to take them back. "Why can't you come home, Daddy?" she asked, her small hand clutching mine. "Soon, baby," I promised. "Very soon, everything will be better." I hoped I was right. Monday morning, I didn't go to my new office. I went to Victoria's instead. We filed documents simultaneously in 3 jurisdictions. Federal fraud charges. Civil asset recovery. Emergency custody modification based on Claire's criminal activity. By noon, law enforcement had frozen all of Claire's accounts. The ones in her name, the shell companies, even the joint account. Everything. My phone rang at 2 p.m. Claire's number. I let it go to voicemail. She called 6 more times. Finally, a text. "What did you do?" "The banks froze everything. Call me now." I didn't respond. Victoria had warned me not to engage until after the arrest. Tuesday morning, I was back in Victoria's office when her phone rang. She answered, listened, then looked at me. "They picked her up an hour ago. She's being processed now." My hands started shaking. Not from fear. From relief. From rage. From 15 years of trust weaponized against me finally getting justice. "What happens now?" I asked. Victoria pulled up documents on her computer screen. "She'll be arraigned this afternoon. Charges include wire fraud, identity theft, forgery, and embezzlement. Federal charges. Garrett. If convicted, she's looking at 10 to 15 years. The weight of that settled over me. The mother of my children might go to prison. But she'd brought this on herself. She'd chosen money over family. Chosen Victor over our kids. Chosen crime over honesty. The custody hearing is scheduled for Thursday, Victoria continued. With her arrest record, you'll get emergency full custody. The kids won't be placed in foster care because you're available and cleared. And the money? Every penny will be recovered. Her accounts, the property, your business. It all comes back. Plus, she'll be liable for damages, legal fees, and restitution. She'll lose everything, Garrett. Just like she tried to make you lose everything. I nodded slowly. Good. That afternoon, Claire's mugshot appeared on the local news. Prominent Denver woman arrested for multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. I turned off the TV before they could show my name. The custody hearing was brutal. Claire appeared in an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, flanked by deputies. She looked across the courtroom at me with pure hatred. Her attorney tried to argue that the criminal charges shouldn't affect custody. That she was still a good mother. Judge Patricia Williams wasn't having it. "Counselor, your client systematically defrauded her husband, forged legal documents, and attempted to steal his business. She prioritized her criminal enterprise over her family's well-being. I see no reason to believe she'll prioritize her children's well-being either." Claire's attorney tried to object, but Judge Williams cut him off. "Emergency full custody is granted to Mr. Reynolds, effective immediately. Mrs. Reynolds will have supervised visitation only, pending resolution of her criminal case. If convicted, we'll revisit permanent custody arrangements." The gavel struck. It was over. I walked out of that courtroom with legal papers granting me my children. Claire was still sitting at the defendant's table, her face buried in her hands. I should have felt triumph. Instead, I felt empty. 15 years of love, or what I'd thought was love, reduced to this. A courtroom. Handcuffs. Hatred. Outside, Victoria waited by her car. "How do you feel?" she asked. "Like I won, but lost everything anyway," I admitted. She squeezed my shoulder gently. "You won back what matters, Garrett. Your kids. Your business. Your freedom. The rest will heal with time." Telling Tommy and Bella that they'd be living with me full-time was one of the hardest conversations of my life. They were at Claire's sister's house when I picked them up. Tommy, always perceptive, knew something was wrong immediately. "Where's Mom?" he asked, climbing into my car. "Why hasn't she called?" I pulled over at a park. Couldn't do this while driving. Turned in my seat to face them. "Your mom made some bad choices," I started carefully. "She did things that were wrong, and now she's in trouble with the police." Bella's eyes went wide. "Is Mommy in jail?" The innocence of that question broke something inside me. "Yes, baby. She is. For a while. So you're going to live with me. We'll get a new house together, all three of us." Tommy's face hardened. He was 12, old enough to understand more than I wanted him to. "She lied to us about you, didn't she? About you choosing work over us." I nodded. "She lied about a lot of things, buddy. But that's over now. I promise you, I will never lie to you. Ever. And I will always, always choose you and your sister over everything else." Bella started crying. Tommy put his arm around her. "It's okay, Belle. Dad's got us now." Those words. From my 12-year-old son. Taking responsibility, showing strength. I pulled them both close. "Yeah. Dad's got you. Always." The next month was chaos. I rented a temporary house in Tommy and Bella's school district so they wouldn't have to change schools. Hired a therapist to help them process everything. Spent every evening helping with homework, making dinner, being present. My business had taken a hit during the divorce, but Alex had held things together. Now, with the fraud case making news, clients were actually reaching out. "People respect that you fought back," Alex explained over coffee. "They see you as someone with integrity. Someone who doesn't quit. It's actually good for business." The preliminary hearing for Claire's criminal case happened 3 weeks after her arrest. I didn't attend, but Victoria called me afterward. "She's taking a plea deal," she said. 7 years in federal prison, full restitution of funds, forfeiture of all assets obtained through fraud. 7 years, I repeated. Tommy and Bella would be 19 and 16 when she got out. Half their childhood gone. "There's more," Victoria continued. "Victor was arrested this morning. Turns out he was using Claire's stolen money to fund his own real estate scams. He's facing separate charges. She was just another mark to him, Garrett." I should have felt satisfaction. Instead, I felt pity. Claire had thrown away everything for a con artist. "When does she sign the plea?" "Friday. After that, we can start asset recovery. Your business, the house, all the accounts. Should take about 60 days to process everything." Friday came. Claire signed her plea agreement in a federal courtroom. I wasn't there, but I read the transcript later. The judge had asked her if she understood what she was giving up. "Yes, Your Honor," she'd replied. "I understand." Did she? Did she really understand that she'd traded her children, her freedom, her entire life for money she'd never get to spend? The weekend after, I took Tommy and Bella to the mountains. We needed to get away from Denver, from the news coverage, from everything. We rented a cabin near Breckenridge, spent 3 days hiking, talking, healing. Saturday night, sitting by a campfire, Tommy finally asked the question I'd been dreading. "Dad, do you still love Mom?" I watched the flames dance, considering my answer carefully. "I loved who I thought she was," I said finally. "The woman I married, who I thought was my partner. But that person either never existed, or she changed into someone I don't know anymore. So no, buddy. I don't love her now. But I don't hate her either. Mostly, I just feel sad about what she threw away." Bella, half asleep against my shoulder, mumbled, "I'm sad too." "I know, baby. Me too. But we're going to be okay. The three of us, we're going to be better than okay. I promise." And I meant it. Sitting there with my kids, away from lawyers and courtrooms and betrayal, I finally felt hope again. Asset recovery took exactly 63 days. On a Wednesday morning in late September, Victoria called with the news I'd been waiting for. "It's done, Garrett. Everything's been transferred back to your accounts. The house, the business assets, all the stolen funds. Even got the Mercedes back from impound." I was sitting in my temporary rental, watching Tommy and Bella get ready for school. How much total? Including damages and recovered investments, $3.2 million. She actually made money on some of the accounts before they were frozen. That's all yours now. $3.2 million. More than she'd stolen. I could pay off the rental house I'd been leasing with option to buy. Could secure college funds for both kids. Could rebuild Reynolds Analytics properly. There's one more thing, Victoria added. The house. Your old house. It's yours again legally, but I'd suggest selling it. Too many bad memories for the kids. She was right. Tommy and Bella had started calling our rental home. They'd made new memories here. Good ones. Going back to that house would just resurrect ghosts. Sell it, I decided. We'll find something new. Fresh start. Smart choice. I'll have the real estate agent contact you. After we hung up, I made breakfast for the kids. Pancakes, their favorite. When they came downstairs, I had news to share. Guys, sit down. Something important to tell you. They sat, looking worried. I'd been having too many serious talks lately. I changed that immediately with a smile. The court gave us back everything Mom took. The money, the business, all of it. Which means we can buy a real house. Anywhere you want in the school district. You pick. Bella's face lit up. Really? We can choose. You can choose. What matters to you guys? Tommy thought for a moment. A yard. Big enough for a dog. We always wanted a dog, but Mom said they were too messy. Something twisted in my chest. Another small thing Claire had denied them, and I hadn't fought for. A yard and a dog. What else? Pool, Bella added immediately. And my own bathroom. I'm tired of sharing with Tommy. Hey! Tommy protested, but he was grinning. This was the first time in months I'd seen them excited about anything. We spent that weekend looking at houses. Found a beautiful 4-bedroom in Cherry Hills with a huge backyard, pool, and walking distance to their school. Tommy loved it. Bella loved it. I loved seeing them happy. We made an offer Monday. It was accepted by Wednesday. Closing was scheduled for October 15th. 3 weeks away. That evening, I called my parents in Arizona. They'd been checking in regularly since the divorce, worried about us. We're buying a house, I told Mom. A real house. The kids picked it out. My mother's voice cracked with emotion. Garrett, honey, I'm so proud of you. You could have given up. But you fought. You protected your babies. Moving day was October 20th. The kids had spent the week packing their things with an energy I hadn't seen in months. Tommy packed his entire room in one afternoon. Bella made lists of how she wanted to decorate her new space. On moving day, Alex showed up with his truck and 3 guys from the office. Family helps family, he said when I tried to protest. By noon, everything was loaded. By 6 p.m., we were unloading into the new house. Tommy and Bella raced through rooms, claiming spaces, imagining possibilities. That night, we ordered pizza and sat on the living room floor surrounded by boxes. This is really ours? Bella asked for the 3rd time. Really ours, I confirmed. Nobody can take it away. Tommy added quietly. I understood the question behind the question. After everything with Claire, they needed security. Permanence. Nobody can take it away, I promised. This house is in my name only. And when I die, it goes to you too. It's our family home. Forever. Tommy nodded, satisfied. Then he said something that nearly broke me. You know what's weird, Dad? I'm happier now than I was before. Even with Mom gone. Is that wrong? I pulled him close. No, buddy. It's not wrong. Sometimes losing something broken makes room for something better. We're building something better now. The 3 of us. And we were. Every day felt a little lighter. A little more hopeful. Like we were finally breathing after being underwater for years. November arrived with Colorado snow. We'd settled into routines. School, homework, Dinner together every night. Weekends were for the three of us. Movies, skiing, just being together. I'd scaled back my work significantly. Reynolds Analytics was doing well enough that I could afford to prioritize my kids. Alex managed daily operations while I focused on strategic clients and, more importantly, on Tommy and Bella. One Saturday, we went to an animal shelter. "You promised a dog," Bella reminded me for the 100th time. The shelter volunteer, a kind woman named Patricia, showed us through rows of kennels. Dogs of every size and breed. Tommy and Bella were overwhelmed with choices. Then Bella stopped at a kennel in the back corner. Inside was a golden retriever, older, calm. The sign said his name was Cooper, age 7, owner surrender. "That one," Bella said simply. "Why Cooper?" I asked. She looked at me with those serious 9-year-old eyes. "Because he looks sad. Like he needs a family. Like we needed each other." Tommy knelt by the kennel. Cooper came over immediately, pressed his nose against the bars. "Yeah," Tommy agreed. "This is our dog." Patricia processed the adoption while I handled paperwork. "Cooper's a good boy," she told us. "His owner passed away. He's been here 3 months. I was worried he'd never find a home." "He has a home now," Bella announced firmly. We brought Cooper home that afternoon. He explored the house cautiously, then claimed a spot on the couch like he'd always lived there. Thanksgiving approached. Our first holiday season without Claire. Tommy had asked if we'd visit her in prison. I'd explained that she wasn't allowed visitors yet. Processing period. Security clearance. Legal terms that meant I was delaying the inevitable conversation. Truth was, I didn't know if seeing her would help or hurt them. Victoria suggested family therapy first. "Let Dr. Phillips guide them through it," she'd advised. "Don't force a reunion before they're ready." So Thanksgiving was just us 3. And Alex, who I'd invited because he'd been there through everything. And surprisingly, Victoria. "I don't have family in Denver," she'd admitted when I asked if she had plans. "Usually just work through the holidays." "Not this year," I'd insisted. "You're coming to us. You're family now." She'd smiled at that. A real smile, not the professional mask she wore in court. Thanksgiving morning, I woke early to start the turkey. Found Cooper already in the kitchen, waiting patiently for breakfast. "Good boy," I whispered, filling his bowl. Tommy appeared around 7, couldn't sleep from excitement. "Can I help?" Together, we prepped the entire meal. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. The works. By the time Bella stumbled downstairs at 9, the house smelled incredible. "It smells like Grandma's house," she said sleepily. And it did. Like family. Like home. Like something worth protecting. Alex arrived at 2. Victoria came at 3. We ate around 4, the 5 of us plus Cooper under the table hoping for scraps. After dinner, Alex and I were doing dishes while Victoria helped the kids with a puzzle. She was surprisingly good with them, patient and encouraging. "She's nice," Tommy had whispered to me earlier. "Do you like her?" I'd laughed it off, but the question stayed with me. Did I? Victoria was brilliant, fierce, loyal. She'd fought for me when I couldn't fight for myself. She'd saved everything I cared about. But romance, after Claire, the thought felt dangerous. "You're thinking too hard," Alex said, handing me a plate to dry. "About what?" "About the pretty lawyer in your living room who keeps looking at you when you're not watching." I glanced through the doorway. Victoria was laughing at something Bella said, her whole face transformed by genuine joy. "It's too soon," I said. "Claire's been in prison for 2 months. The divorce was barely finalized 4 months ago. I can't just—" "Garrett," Alex interrupted. "Claire was gone emotionally for over a year. You've been alone way longer than 4 months. And Victoria isn't Claire. She's proven that." He was right. Victoria had proven it in every action, every decision, every moment she'd fought for my family. Later that evening, after Alex left and the kids were in bed, Victoria and I sat on the back porch with coffee. The November night was cold but clear. Stars visible despite Denver's light pollution. "Thank you for inviting me," she said. "I can't remember the last time I felt this normal. Thank you for everything you did for us." Victoria turned to face me, her coffee cup cradled in both hands. "Garrett, can I ask you something personal?" "Anything. What do you want? Now that the dust is settling. Now that you have your kids, your business, your life back. What do you actually want?" I've been asking myself that question for weeks. I want my kids to be happy, to feel secure, to know they're loved unconditionally. That's what you want for them. What about for you? I looked at her. Really looked at her. Victoria had been my attorney, my advocate, my friend. But sitting here in the quiet darkness, I saw something more. Someone who understood me. Someone who'd seen me at my absolute worst and hadn't walked away. Honestly, I want to stop feeling broken. Want to trust someone again without waiting for betrayal. Want to believe that not everyone is like Claire. "Not everyone is," Victoria said softly. "Some of us fight for the people we care about. Some of us stay." The air between us shifted, charged. I should have pulled back, but I didn't. "Are you saying?" "I'm saying I didn't just take your case because it was interesting legally. I took it because I saw someone worth fighting for. And the more I got to know you, the more I wanted to fight for you. Not as your attorney, as someone who cares." My heart hammered against my ribs. "Victoria, You don't have to say anything," she interrupted. "I know it's complicated. The kids, the timing, everything. I just wanted you to know. When you're ready, if you're ever ready, I'm here." December brought more changes. The kids had their first supervised visit with Claire at the federal facility. I drove them, waited in the parking lot, then held Bella while she cried for 20 minutes after. She said she was sorry, Bella sobbed against my shoulder. But she didn't look sorry. She looked angry. Tommy sat silent in the front seat, staring out the window. Finally he spoke. She asked when we were moving back to the old house. Didn't even know we'd sold it. Didn't ask about school or Cooper or anything real. Just wanted to know about the house. It confirmed what I'd suspected. Even in prison, Claire was still focused on assets and property, not on the family she'd destroyed. Dr. Phillips helped them process it in therapy. Helped me understand that their mother's inability to prioritize them wasn't their fault. That they could love her and be disappointed in her simultaneously. Meanwhile, Victoria and I had fallen into an easy friendship. She came to dinner twice a week. Helped Tommy with math homework. Took Bella Christmas shopping. The kids adored her. Cooper adored her. And I was falling for her, slowly and terrifyingly. One evening in mid-December, Tommy asked the question I'd been dreading. "Dad, are you dating Victoria?" We were decorating the Christmas tree. Bella stopped hanging ornaments to listen. "Would that bother you if I was?" I asked carefully. Tommy considered it. "Is she going to take our money and leave like Mom did?" The question gutted me. "No, buddy. Victoria has her own career, her own money. She doesn't need ours." "Then I think it's okay," Tommy decided. "She makes you smile. You didn't smile a lot before. Even when Mom was here." Bella nodded agreement. "I like her. She's nice to us. Not fake nice. Real nice." Their approval shouldn't have mattered so much, but it did. That evening, after the kids went to bed, I called Victoria. They asked if we were dating. "Oh." I could hear the smile in her voice. "What did you tell them?" "That I'd ask you first." "Victoria, would you have dinner with me? Real dinner. Just us. A date." Silence stretched for a moment. Then, "I thought you'd never ask." "When?" "Friday. Alex can watch the kids." "Friday's perfect." We went to a quiet Italian place in Lodo. Talked for 3 hours over pasta and wine. About her childhood in California. About my early years building the business. About everything except Claire, lawyers, and courtrooms. "This is nice," Victoria said as we left. Being just Garrett and Victoria. Not client and attorney. We stopped being just client and attorney months ago, I admitted. I know. But I didn't want to assume. I walked her to her car, suddenly nervous like a teenager. Can I kiss you? Please, she laughed. So I did. And it felt like starting over. Like hope. Like someone had finally turned the lights back on after months of darkness. When I got home, Alex was on the couch with both kids asleep against him and Cooper at his feet. Good date, he whispered. The best, I admitted. Good. You deserve it, man. You deserve to be happy. Maybe I did. Maybe we all did. Christmas morning was perfect. Tommy and Bella woke me at 6, dragged me downstairs to the tree surrounded by presents. Cooper wore a Santa hat that Bella had insisted on. We opened gifts slowly, savoring each one. Tommy got the gaming console he'd wanted. Bella got art supplies and books. I got homemade cards from both of them that made me tear up. You're such a dad, Tommy teased. Crying over cards. Best gifts I've ever received, I said honestly. Around noon, Victoria arrived with gifts for the kids. A basketball for Tommy, who joined his school team. A sketchbook and professional colored pencils for Bella, who wanted to be an artist. How did you know? Bella asked, clutching the supplies. Your dad told me. Also, I saw your drawings on the fridge. You're talented. Bella beamed. We spent the day together, all of us. Played board games. Watched movies. Made cookies. Normal family things. Things Claire had always been too busy for, too focused on appearances and social status to appreciate. That evening, tucking Bella into bed, she looked up at me seriously. Dad, is Victoria going to be our new mom? My breath caught. Would you want that? I think so. She's not trying to replace Mom. She's just being herself. That's nice. From the doorway, Tommy added, I'd be okay with it too. Just saying. After they slept, Victoria and I sat by the Christmas tree lights. They asked if you'd be their new mom, I told her. Victoria's eyes widened. That's big. Too big. Too fast. I know we've only been dating a month. Garrett. She took my hand. I care about you. About them. But I don't want to rush anything. Let's just be together. See where it goes naturally. January brought new routines. Victoria became a permanent fixture in our lives. 3 dinners a week turned into 5. Then she was staying over on weekends. By February, she had clothes in my closet and toiletries in the bathroom. The kids didn't ask questions. They just accepted her presence like they'd accepted Cooper. Natural. Right. Reynolds Analytics had its best quarter ever. Clients respected the way I'd handled adversity. You fought back with integrity, one CEO told me. That's the kind of partner we want. In March, I got a call from the prison. Claire wanted to see me. Alone. I drove to the federal facility on a gray Thursday afternoon. Checked in through security. Waited in a cold visitation room. Claire appeared in prison orange, looking thinner, older. The makeup and designer clothes had hidden how much her lies had aged her. Garrett, she said, sitting across from me. No touching allowed. Glass partition between us. Thanks for coming. What do you want, Claire? I wanted to apologize. Really apologize. Not the court-ordered therapy version. A real apology from me to you. I waited. She took a breath. I was wrong. About everything. I got greedy. Lost sight of what mattered. Destroyed our family for money I didn't even need. Hurt you. Hurt the kids. And for what? Victor was using me. The money's gone. Everything I thought I wanted just evaporated. The kids are doing well, I said. They're in therapy. They're healing. We're healing. I heard you're seeing someone. Your attorney. I nodded. Victoria. Yes. Is she good to them? To Tommy and Bella. She's wonderful to them. She loves them. Really loves them. Not because of what she can get, but because of who they are. Tears streamed down Claire's face. Real tears this time, not manipulative ones. I'd learned to tell the difference. I'm glad. They deserve that. You all do. She wiped her eyes with her sleeve. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Garrett. I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. What I threw away. What I destroyed. And I'm sorry. Truly, completely sorry. I studied her for a long moment. Looked for the woman I'd married 15 years ago. She was gone. Replaced by someone broken by her own choices. I believe you, I said finally. But sorry doesn't fix what you did. To me, to the kids, to yourself. You chose this path, Claire. Every step. Every lie. Every betrayal. You chose it. I know. The kids will decide if and when they want a relationship with you. I won't influence them either way. That's their choice. But you need to understand something. I leaned forward. You don't get to be their mother in any real sense anymore. You lost that right. If they choose to visit, to write, to have some connection with you, I'll support it. But Victoria is the one who helps with homework, who comforts them when they're sad, who shows up every single day. She's earned what you threw away. Claire nodded slowly. I understand. Will you tell them I asked about them? That I love them. I'll tell them you asked about them. The love part. You'll have to prove that through actions over time. Words don't mean much anymore. I stood to leave. Claire called after me. Garrett. I really am sorry. For whatever it's worth. It's worth something, I admitted. But not everything. Not anymore. I drove home feeling lighter. That conversation had given me closure I didn't know I needed. Claire was sorry, but sorry didn't change the past. It just acknowledged it. Spring arrived with Colorado wildflowers. Tommy made the school basketball finals. Bella's artwork won a district competition. Cooper learned to catch frisbees in the backyard. And Victoria moved in officially in April. Are you sure? She'd asked when I suggested it. The kids, your ex, everything? I'm sure. The kids asked when you were moving in last week. They're ready. I'm ready. We told them over dinner that night. Tommy high-fived Victoria. Bella hugged her for 5 full minutes. Does this mean we can call you Mom? Bella asked carefully. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Only if you want to. I'm not trying to replace anyone. Not replacing, Tommy clarified. Adding. We can have a mom in prison who messed up and a mom at home who shows up. Different kinds of moms. The wisdom of a 13-year-old kid who'd been through too much too young. That summer, we went to California. Beach vacation, just the 4 of us. Built sandcastles with Bella. Taught Tommy to surf. Walked along the shore at sunset with Victoria's hand in mine. You did it, she said one evening. Built a whole new life from nothing. We did it, I corrected. You saved me when I couldn't save myself. You saved yourself, Garrett. I just gave you the tools. Looking back at the kids playing with Cooper in the waves, I realized something. Claire had taken my money, my house, my trust. She'd tried to take everything that mattered. But she couldn't take my ability to rebuild. To love again. To create something better from the ashes of something broken. She'd tried to destroy me, and instead, she'd freed me. Freed me to find someone who truly valued partnership. Freed me to be the father my kids deserved. Freed me to build a life based on honesty instead of lies. 2 years after signing those divorce papers with shaking hands, I stood in the California sunset with my kids laughing nearby and Victoria beside me. Claire had taken everything. But I'd built something better. Something real. Something she could never touch. And that was the greatest revenge of all. Not destroying her, but thriving without her. Not seeking justice through cruelty, but through success. I'd found my freedom. And with it, I'd found my family. The real one. The one built on choice and commitment and showing up every single day. Claire thought she'd won when I signed those papers. She had no idea she'd just set me free. If you enjoyed this story, Please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments about second chances and rebuilding after betrayal. What would you have done in Garrett's situation? Let me know where you're watching from.